Welcome back to hour number 4, week 36 of Swan Song. Swan Song. God. The West Marches. God, I saw people talking about it in a chat, and it was just like,
I see what's
ding.
happening. So you left the show so that you and JP could conspire to throw me off of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you're now all on a spaceship, and yeah, okay. God. All right, redo. Welcome back to hour number 4 of week 36 of the West Marches. So it's now the next morning, and Darius and Tilly, you're both waking up from your drugged sleep. You've had just ridiculously wild dreams all night. Dreams of light and lightning and color and flashing in your mind. You feel deeply, deeply rested. You feel great. What do you do?
Well, as I wake up from next to some random female, I check my pockets and stuff.
Yeah, like all your stuff is where it belonged.
Okay,
Yeah.
just making sure, thieves and stuff.
There are a number of people also splayed out on couches, still snoring gently, or waking up and blearily rubbing their eyes, and then just looking around the room with a beatific look on their faces.
I try to like as carefully as possible, try to get away from the woman so she doesn't wake up, and then find Tilly, and I'm gonna wake Tilly up if Tilly's not already up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wake up when you start kind of shaking me. I kind of look around and I look really alarmed. I don't really understand what's happening. And
I immediately put my one finger to my lips and then wave you out like we need to go.
Okay, I nod and kind of follow you, kind of wide-eyed still.
Yeah, and so I guess we just make our way back to the others now. That hopefully it's early enough that it's not too late.
Yeah, you make your way back through the city. The city is starting to wake up. It's the sun is shining across the plain down below you and striking the side of the cliffs that you're walking past. Tilly, as you check your pockets, you find a scrap of paper in one of them that you don't remember from before.
Okay, I pull it out and read it.
Yeah, it says, Dina, 3 orders shock sleep powder. Tilly's a friend. Stiv.
Okay. Does Darius see me read that, or?
I think that's up to you two.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of read it and look at it, and then as soon as I get done reading, I'm gonna slip it back into my pocket kind of quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now, honestly, I don't really. It's not even about concealing it from Darius. I just don't care what's happening because I don't know what the fuck is going on with it.
You got blasted out of your mind.
Yeah, so.
Awesome. Yeah, cool. Okay, so you guys wander your way through the city. Now that the streets are bright, they don't look nearly as menacing as they did at nighttime. You don't see any signs of the rats that attacked you last night, for example. Yeah, you guys all get back up together, meet up, no problem. Grigori, are you cooking everyone breakfast?
Yeah. I've got some I'm making eggs, I think probably. I'm up when these two arrive.
Nice.
Coming to the door. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say you're all back together.
I go to Grigori and I kind of run up to him real quick and say, I think that was a victim of magic or something. Can you tell? And I'm like,
and I
I'm
start.
like,
You
what
just
do I
see me
look
behind,
like?
my hands on my hips, and I just start laughing.
I sit down the cast iron, the skillet that I'm working. Then I crouch down and I look at you and I look up past you at Darius. What did you do? And how seriously should I take this?
I'm
like
check me out, Doc. I'm I crazy things happened last night.
Yeah. Darius, what's the face you're making when I look up at you?
I just have a shit-eating grin, like, because I'm used to partying, and I'm like, I've probably even done those drugs before. Who knows? But
yeah, so I lean in and I like check your eyes and I do the like follow my finger thing and I like do a couple of things just to make you feel like I'm doing something, and then I'm like, no, you're fine, And
then all you hear me say is, "Shouldn't have taken another shot. I told you shouldn't have taken another shot."
Did you two have a good night last night? And I like stand up.
And I'm like, yeah, doc. Actually, I heard of another doc that I'd like to pay a visit. I'm not sure if you're interested.
Perhaps. Why?
I think I've found Dina. And this doctor.
And why is it that matters?
I look at Tilly and I'm like, a quiver, a bottomless quiver, a magical item. I'd really like to find this item.
Yes, that's fine. We have other things to discuss first.
I nod and just sort of drop it at that point and okay, what is it?
Come, sit. I made breakfast. It's getting cold. And I like get everybody to come into the room and sit down. And I think I say, Callahan and I spoke with Laurent last night. The sage that was going to give us information about hatching the egg. It was a very eye-opening conversation. We are going to have to build something first. It will take some time. This, I think, will buy you some time to pursue this quiver you're looking for.
I'm like, okay, so what are we building? We're building a house? We building, like, there's plenty of houses.
It's not house. It's like cradle for baby dragon.
Well, can we just go buy one of those?
Callahan just smirks as he's like eating this porridge.
Yeah. No, it's not so simple as that. We must build first. It's special, custom for this particular baby. We want to treat it well, don't we? We don't want it being born and angry at Papa and, I look at Callahan, other Papa.
And I'm like, and I sort of look at Callahan, I'm like, you're the mother probably.
It's complicated with dragons. But first step is to build cradle for baby, so that baby will be happy when coming into the world. We are working on that.
And the second step?
We will talk about that when it is to come.
No, Doc, let's spit it out. Let's spit it out. What's the second step?
It's complicated. We will need to have magical ritual involving emotional energy. You are familiar with how Egg has been responding to our behavior, yes?
No, I'm like, yeah, I noticed a few things.
Yes, dragons, they are sensitive to the way they are heard. Us, the way that we feel. They feel our feelings as well, but require so much more of them that we are going to have big feelings to wake it up.
So we're going to sit around and cry, or what's going on here?
No, we have not worked out details of that yet. But we will. In good time. For now, though, we need to keep things quiet. I need both of you, while you are out doing what it is you are doing, to keep an ear open for talk of new construction in... What was the area we're going to build in?
The flop house.
In Flophouse, rumors, things like this. I also need you to check out the property. Here, I have address, and I like give you a piece of paper with the address on it. And I say, go and look at this place. See if there are any signs it belongs to anyone. I don't want petty territorial squabble getting in our way. Laurent is saying it is abandoned. I want it to be abandoned. If we have to pay someone or something like that, I need to know. I think this is something you can do.
Tilly is looking like right at Grigori, like just kind of sort of staring him down. And she looks at him, she says, Grigori, in the time I've known you, I've never known you to dance around a subject before. You've always spoken pretty plainly. What's wrong?
And I turn and look at you, And I just kind of like stare at you for a second, and I say, goodbye, Darius. I say, I am not dancing around subject. I am wondering how much one needs to know now. I do not want you to be having cold feet.
Galahad kind of stands up, and the sound of the chair like pushing across the cobble floor like makes a creak noise and kind of pulls the attention. And he just looks at Tilly, and he says, "For once, he's trying to protect you," and then just kind of walks out of the room.
I look back at Galahad and kind of look him up and down, and I kind of say, and she kind of puffs out her chest a little bit. She says, maybe I don't need his protection.
Galahad kind of like throws his hand back over his head as he walks away, and he's like, "You do from this."
I think Darius has a good idea what Grigori's dancing around. I mean, I'd say that he has a pretty good idea of what is going to be required of them, or at least what he thinks is going to be required of them. And so, I mean, he for him, it's either going to be a massive orgy or massive killing. So
one and then the other. Hopefully in the right order this time.
Or both.
Yeah, not in Darius's order.
No.
Tilly gives Galahad a very kind of a stern look. Like, Tilly's kind of never been all right with Galahad, and she just kind of is starting to get a really bad feeling from him. So she gives him kind of almost a glare, like a sneer, I guess is kind of a better term. Anyways, and I look back at Grigori, and again, I'm very straight faced, and I say, I've always been honest with you. If you want me to trust you, I will, but I've always been honest with you. And that's what I say.
And right now, I'm just tapping a knife on the table, not really eating my food. I'm already feeling pretty good, but then I pipe up after Tilly, and I'm just like, well, we want to take out some thieves. We know some thieves that want what those thieves want. What if you need a lot of emotion, and what causes more emotion than something being taken from greedy people to give to greedy people? I was like, maybe we can pit these two against each other.
I think you are likely on the right track. If you can institute a little chaos in the Thieves' Guilds, I would like them to be at each other's throats. Perhaps we can harness that energy. Already, I think there is feuding happening. If they think that war is imminent, we can use that.
And I look at Tilly, and I'm just like, I'm going to need your help.
I'm looking kind of at Grigori because I've noticed that he still hasn't really spoken to me. He's hasn't really answered my question. He hasn't really, said anything. But I kind of sigh a little bit, and I reach into my pocket and I slide the note across the table. I stand up in the chair and slide it across, and I say,
as it happens, I've already kind of been working in that direction. When I took from the lockbox earlier, like I told you, I left a note. I think it might have caused someone to slip me this letter last night.
And this is news to Darius and Galahad, obviously, but Grigori knew what I did, so I went ahead and slip over the one that you said, Stephen, that I had in my pocket about being a friend of Dina.
Stiv, yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Stiv, yeah.
Dina, Tilly is a friend, Stiv. 3 orders of shock sleep.
Yep. So, and I slide it over, and I as I slide it over to him, I'm still kind of looking at him in his eyes, and I say,
I trust you.
And that's what I do.
Yeah, I think I say, I'm like, trust is funny thing, Tilly. Is gift we give away, expecting same in return. I appreciate that you trust me. He's smart. I am looking out for you. I want you to be strong, like we are. But I am not certain you are yet. I have seen you do many brave things, and this is good, but what is to come ahead for us? Hell is waiting, and I need to know I will not leave you there on the other side. You need to be stronger than you are. I have high hopes, but I shrug.
And I look back at you and I say,
Maybe I have high hopes for you.
and I look over at Darius and kind of nod, like I say, like I'm not hungry. If we got work to do, let's get to work.
And I get up and snatch the note and immediately just start walking towards the door. Because I guess we're gonna be scoping out where they want to build and then scoping out Dina's territory is what I'm imagining.
Yeah, when you two leave, I want to talk to Galhan.
Okay.
So Galhan, where are you? Because you left, right? Like you walked out.
I went into the foyer, I guess, like the hallway,
Mm-hmm.
and then as they leave, I kind of come back in.
Yeah. And
Sit down.
I give you a look. I'm like, Tilly seems to be concerned. I wonder. She's shown willingness to kill, but what I think is coming will be more than that. Harder. Require a deeper price. What do you think? I would hate to have to kill her.
He kind of looks at the table and he's like, "We should never have brought her in the first place."
Sometimes our fates take us to strange places. She was born under a dark sign to be put in our company. And I suppose what's done is done. The die is cast. Hopefully she won't prove to be a liability later.
I'll leave that up to you.
Yes, probably wise. You have parenting to consider. And what about Darius? Can we trust him? He is driven by his desires. I think we hang something over him he wants badly enough. He will go along.
Sounds like he wants that satchel pretty badly.
It's just satchel, though. We need more, something bigger. Perhaps we can offer him position of power once things have cleared. Leadership in Thieves Guild, something like that. I have hard time understanding Darius sometimes. He must be more complex than just wanting to have sex with everyone he sees.
You're right, but you can't deny his usefulness.
No, I agree completely. He's immoral, but to catch fish, you must have proper bait. Am I right? What is bait to catch Darius?
Bread.
I'll watch
You're
it
not asking
closely.
me that, right? Okay.
This is what is unpredictable about someone who wants everything. It is hard to pick the one thing they desire most.
Yeah, bread or sex.
I will think on it. Hopefully
Okay.
these are insurance policies we will not need to collect upon. I hope that they will see the wisdom of following us in this. But some people's stomach turn at the idea of doing dark deeds.
I think the evil of men is trivial to the evil I've seen out there.
I laugh. In this, we agree. What we do here in the city is like drop of water in ocean. Perhaps when Dragon is born, we can go and right some other wrongs. Bigger drops, yes?
Sounds good to me, old friend. And I kind of just slap him on the back.
Right. Well, work to do, I suppose.
Nice. All right, so as the days go by and you guys are putting together your plans, you're able to get a pretty good impression of the way the city is put together. And here it is laid out in front of you in, shitty representation. So yeah, these are the major districts of Pyranor.
Pyranor, like a beautiful pile of beans.
Yep, the main entrance is here in the University District, and then you are working your way up into Shrike's Landing, where, of course, your current abode is, where the home that Grigori stole from Werner is located. Carnival is over here, and then the Palace of 1,000 Rooms is up here, so that's where you all were staying at the Frigid Queen. Down here is Coins Flip, which is that sheer vertical place where the two of you were last night. Now, as for Dina, you've heard that she's located off in the Rise, which is right over here. That's where the physician Tyrus Chloran lives, and where Dina makes her residence above that spot. Okay. You guys heard some options for either creating for getting an abandoned building in either the cobblestones, that would be either some sort of mine shaft in Ram's masonry, or in the Flophouse. There's probably some sort of abandoned tavern or inn that you guys could use, or in the Guilt District, there's an abandoned meat packing plant that you all could use as your setup. So this is kind of the situation in the city, and then we'll just put a star here in the Rise, where Dina is living.
And we're in the university.
So right now, you all are here in Shrike's Landing. I'll draw a magenta home. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. That's your home spot.
Okay. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think we decided we're gonna try to get some territory in the Flophouse.
My thing is, like, you said whenever we were talking about the Rise and the doctor's shop and how it was like this ancient Parthenon type building that was huge. It's like, what if we just killed him and took it over? I mean, I'm just saying. What if Darius and Tilly went there? We're like, well, they want some place to camp, and we need to take out Dina and see what's up. It would be a place where we could basically try and take over.
I mean, someone's gonna know they died.
Yeah, the trick with, like, the reason why it was no big deal to kill Werner was because he's an old former slave with no friends, and the reason we can work with Laurent is that he's a creepy old weirdo with no friends.
Yeah.
Killing the doctor would require some additional work, because if he dies, people will definitely notice.
Well, and that's why I was thinking, like, that's where you would come in to replace the doctor to help people, even though you're evil. So that way we'd be like, well, we have a doctor, and then it'd be like, well, I came in to fill in this guy's shoes.
Hang on, evil is a perspective, all right?
Okay. So basically, like, we could make it look like his death was an accident, and then Grigori's there to take his place. And then take over.
You don't think that would look super suspicious and people wouldn't ask more questions?
Yeah, I mean, I think we gotta stay focused on.
We're gonna do a mass killing. I mean,
we gotta stay focused on the main goal, right? Like the mass, and the thing is, if we do this right, we won't even be related, right? Like no one will be able to point at the massacre at the Flophouse and be like, oh, it was those outsiders, right? Yeah. They'll be like, oh, the gangs all got into a big war with each other, and like there was all these massive killings, and all these innocents got caught in the crossfire, and oh man, boy, aren't gangs the worst, right?
Yeah, okay.
We want to have clean hands, not because it's easier, but because it's less likely to come back on us until at least we have a dragon that can defend us. We'll either leave this place in rubble, or we'll leave with the dragon and be done with it. But right now we're in a position of vulnerability. So what I'm hoping is that we can sort of slowly move towards destabilizing the gangs, getting them to fight, and then ultimately have one big fight, preferably during like a public event when there's a lot of people around for crossfire purposes.
Okay.
And then we'll harness that.
I would say that Tilly and I should just go check out like the Guild District, the Flophouse, and then make our way to the Rise, and that will be our last stop. Checking out like Dina's area, and setting up sort of like the steps to starting a gang war. especially since Tilly is a friend now.
Well, yeah, maybe hit the Guild District, the Flophouse, and then Cobblestones, and then hit the Rise. Like, check out those 3 areas where there were warehouses. Just survey them.
Are we aware that you guys like want the Flophouse the most or something?
I feel like we've decided on the Flophouse because it's in like a territory that's appropriate to.
The address we gave you was the Flophouse, so we wouldn't have even given you the other two.
Yeah, you wouldn't even have.
Okay. My bad.
Yeah.
All right, then I guess to the Flophouse then.
Yeah, to the Flop. I love that name. To the Flophouse and then the Rise. It's floppy, then it rises. Anyway. Just saying.
Is that Darius or Pokket?
Terrible.
They're the same person. I swear to God.
Terrible.
I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, I know where the Guild District comes from now.
Yeah. All right. So you're heading down to the Flophouse.
And just to be clear, the specific instructions from Grigori was to do what now? Like, what exactly did you tell us?
Oh, I mean, the long plan, I figure, like, our medium-term plan is to destabilize the gangs and get them fighting each other, right? And this should be fairly easy because we know that Alanis doesn't like it when you make fun of their pride, right? When we, like, poke at their pride. So we could probably set them off. If you learn more about Basil and Dina and what sets them off, we'll have equipment that we need emotionally to manipulate them into fighting each other, right? So we could be like, well, Dina said that you are like an idiot, and then we do the Rashomon thing or whatever, where we pit them against each other, and then Yojimbo, and then while you guys, I trust you two to handle that because this is not a thing that I'm at all. Grigori and Gallahan have no capability around that. I'm banking on your 17 persuade or whatever.
+7.
Yeah, you're +7. But in the short term, securing the place we're going to build the Crucible, I think, is the most important. So making sure that if we go in there and we either buy it or take it over and start excavating and fucking around with it, that we're not stepping on anyone's toes, because we want to make sure that the gangs don't start looking at us until it's too late, until the war has already started. We want to get that beef going.
Yeah.
Cool. So I was hoping that you two could go and just scope the joint out, make sure that it's not like anyone's territory, and if it is, then let us know so we can either buy them out or kill them or like deal with that and take control of the building.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
But you have every reason to believe this is an abandoned place, right? Flophouse.
I mean, that's what Loren said, but he's not exactly like a criminal overlord, right? He's just some nerd. So I'm putting this in the hands of my trusted operatives.
He's just some nerd.
Basically, you're a scout.
Right? Like, it'd be like asking a librarian, like, hey, so in the worst part of town, where is there like an abandoned warehouse? And they could be like, well, no one owns this building, so obviously it's abandoned. So,
okay.
Gotta get it for real.
All right. Well, I guess then, Darius, we head to the Flophouse and do some investigating.
Okay. Yep.
Together, off we go. You're the talker. I'll assist as best I can while you're doing that, but
you talk till he walks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is that what are we going to cut to us at the Flophouse now?
Yeah. Are you all going, or is it just Darius and Tilly?
I think it's just us two.
It's just those two.
Yeah. Okay. So you get into the Flophouse. So let's see. How do you get there?
Walk.
No, I'm just trying to describe for you
I
your
choose
route.
flying.
Yeah, I guess you go down through the University District, down through the Ring of Blood, and then into the Flophouse. So yeah, the Ring of Blood is the only one you haven't been in before. Yeah, there's this this great circular coliseum with massive woven banners in red and black that hang by the entrance, and they proclaim the names of current famous winners in the arena: Thalrex, Justica, Renea, Ploranth. And the structure of the Ring of Blood appears to be carved from a single seamless block of red-veined marble. And then, right at the intersection of the Ring of Blood and the Flophouse, you see this grand cathedral, the Cathedral of Nyenth. It's a hulking mass of natural stone, unwrought. It's not carved or anything, but it's nevertheless formed in the semblance of a Gothic cathedral, some natural symmetry and fate carving arched windows and towers and flows etching columns and detail down the sides of the structure. Yeah, there are people who are sort of milling about and going into and out of the cathedral as you walk by. You enter into the flop house.
Actually, before we do that, I kind of stopped Darius and, tell him to hold on a second when we pass the Ring of Blood. I want to kind of ask about some of the people around about the Ring of Blood, see if there's any events coming up. Just generally understand what exactly it is and the size of it, what goes into it. Is it slaves fighting, volunteers, that kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whenever Tilly stops me, I turn around. I'm like, what, you gotta pee? We haven't been gone that long.
I just want to check out some things.
And look over at the Ring of Blood and the whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So the air here has an iron tang to it, and the scent of rotting meat rises in your nostrils. It's a very active part of town, people coming and going, people crying out on corners, crying, come see Justica, take on all combatants this evening at, sundown, things like that. You find someone to ask about it, and they say, there are fights 3 nights a week, tonight, and then I think it's like Tuesday night, so Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Combatants are fighting with stilettos that are coated with a unique venom that obstructs the clotting process. And so it makes even the smallest of cuts bleed profusely. And it's permanently stained the sands inside the Ring of Blood a dark reddish brown.
I'm just imagining Sting from the terrible Dune movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Are these big events? Like, is the arena, how big is the arena exactly?
It's massive. It would probably seat 10 or 15,000 people at a time.
Ooh.
Okay. All right. That's all. I just wanted to kind of get some information about what exactly it was on the way to the flop house. So I go back to Darius, and it doesn't take me long, I'm sure. 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes to chat someone up. Okay. And I say, okay, I'm
As we continue walking, I just say, well, maybe you should do a lot of talking.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to step on your toes.
And I kind of look down a little bit.
I'm like, cheer up, kid. I wasn't trying to put you down.
Oh, okay.
And then I guess we make our way towards the abandoned building that we're supposed to be finding.
Yeah, flop house.
So I guess what's his name? Loranth gave you some directions. So you turn down a couple side streets and make your way through the flop house. The flop house as a district, it seems like a pleasant enough place to spend an evening, and everything that you pass looks relatively affordable. There's tons of sort of open air hostels that are just covered, but they don't have a front on the building. And there's lots of folks who are sort of have paid for a small patch of ground to lay out their bedroll on, that sort of thing. You wind your way through the streets and up a sharp cliff, and you find what looks to be a relatively abandoned building. There are no lights inside. It's got that open air ground floor again, but everything is completely empty and cleared out. Would both of you give me a perception check?
Sure. Are there any thieves' can't signs around that maybe?
That's
give me perception.
Yeah, sure.
Please roll better.
Sorry, I've closed it. Here we go. Probably won't be.
Ooh.
Tilly.
That's better.
Oh, okay.
You see a thieves' sign that it's just a couple of symbols, but you read them quickly, and what it says is, "Stay away. A man and his large dogs will kill you."
I relay this message to Darius. I kind of, tug on the pant leg and point up to where it's at, and just kind of point it out.
Something to consider.
I walk in to the building.
Okay.
I take out I'm ready at any moment to take out my bow and arrow if I need to, but I walk in.
Okay, totally.
Ignoring it.
Yeah, there's this large open air ground floor. It's like the floor is concrete or something like that. Some huge columns supporting the upper floors above it. And back in the back, there's a door that enters into an interior portion of this building. That's all that you can see from right here. There's a staircase up on the right-hand side that's leading upstairs.
Otherwise, it looks completely abandoned. I mean, we don't see anybody in there, any foot traffic, feces, anything like.
As far as that you can see, Tilly, you see scuffs and scrapes on the floor. You see a small pile of poo in the corner. Yeah, absolutely. Like it seems like there is. To be completely frank, it looks like there's a man and his 2 large dogs who live here.
Okay, there you go. I talk to Darius and I say,
maybe this isn't as abandoned as Grigori was told. Seems someone is living here.
I look back to Tilly and I'm like, well, maybe we should go introduce ourselves.
Tilly shrugs.
I'm right behind you.
And I'm going to try and go into stealth before I enter.
Okay, where are you going? Upstairs, back into the building, or downstairs? Oh, there's no downstairs here. Yeah.
Then upstairs.
Okay, yeah. You walk up the stairs and you make it up to the second floor, and there's just a large enclosed building. The stairs continue up a number of stories. It seems like this building is probably 5 stories tall. Up on this second floor, there's just not a whole lot going on. There's a couple of ruined pieces of furniture around, a couple of walls with dark splashes of paint scrawled on them, words of swearing against the Palace of 1,000 Rooms, that sort of thing, general abandoned building graffiti. You take a sniff of the air. It doesn't even smell like there's anybody who's been living here for quite some time.
Well, maybe we should go talk to Dina.
I nod to Tilly. I'm like, yeah, we should probably do that, then get back to the others.
All right. So looks like we, looked around. Didn't see much. Got a little, hint of somebody being there. We don't know who. So now we're going to head over to the Rise.
All right. Let's see what kind of a path that takes you on. Yeah, so I guess from the Flophouse, you're just going through the gardens and then over to the Rise. So the Garden District. Yeah, it's all of a sudden you leave the Flophouse, and instead of these hovels everywhere, you start seeing glassworks, actually, just like Loranth. And there's a number of spots that are sort of, again, a little bit open air, or like doors that are very wide open, and you see huge furnaces and glass blowers and glass workers, carting sand back and forth, or precious crushed minerals that are brightly colored. People perusing bright globes and goblets and things like that, the craftsmanship of the district. The entire district is overgrown by greenery and gardens that seem to have been planted up on ledges or in, medians in the middle of the road, and everything is just rank and overgrown. There are doors that are hidden behind clinging vines and cloying flowers. You catch the glimpse, Tilly, of some small dog that's sort of whimpering over along the edge of a road as vines slowly twist their way up its length and draw it back into the undergrowth. You walk past a huge, grand structure that looks like it's been carved into the body of some ancient tree. There's black wood behind a huge clinging vine. I guess you're coming through here at around noon, which means that the blooms on the vine are all closed, snapped tightly, sort of wrinkled together. But you can tell that this vine and these flowers, they're the same as the ones that Loranth brought, and were sitting on in a vase in Grigori's house.
Can I make a nature check to see if any of these plants around me have like any kind of properties? Like, would they be harvested or?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Make a nature roll. You
Yay.
have no idea.
Okay, go.
Yeah. You pass out of the garden district and you enter the Rise, which it's far on the back side of Great Pyranor, and it's sort of spilling down the far side of the mountain, built up nearly on top of itself. It takes you till 1 or 2 to finally really truly get into the Rise. There are steep stone staircases that are carved winding into the mountainside. And there appear to be sort of pulley-driven platforms and special like backpack sort of contraptions that are constantly moving up and down, ferrying people and goods from one level to another to help people navigate this incredibly steep collapse on the backside of Pyranor. Yeah, you're heading and trying to find Dina.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's not too hard. You head down Lunescent Way, and as promised, there's this huge, bulky, brutal, imposing Parthenon that bisects the avenue. So you see it from probably a 5-minute walk away, and as you walk down the street, you're getting closer and closer to this building looming larger and larger. It looks like it used to be dedicated to some ancient forgotten god, and now it serves as a home and a hospital for Tyrus Cloran and his staff. And you can see poorer patients that are slumped in a drugged stupor at the bases of the open-air columns that are surrounding the structure, while wealthier members are being escorted inside to be seen.
So, can we see any thieves' cants around here?
Yeah, give me another perception check.
From both of us? I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. Okay, yeah, Tilly, once again, you see a thieves' cant. It's a different dialect, but you can recognize it. It's basically just the symbols indicating home.
I look down to Tilly and I like pause a second because I guess I don't see them, but I say, you know what, I think we need to I think I have a plan. And I was like, what does that note say again?
Home.
No.
Tilly's note.
Tilly's note.
It says, Dina, Tilly's a friend, 3 orders of shock sleep powder. Signed, Stiv.
Shock sleep powder.
Okay. What's the plan?
And I'm like, oh. I
That's
said,
okay.
yeah, I think I have a plan. I think, Stephen, is it possible that we can somehow mimic Elenus's cants and put them in this area?
Oh, yes. It would take some kind of a roll.
I would,
But,
and
yeah.
I tell Tilly this, like, I think that we should start planting the seeds that Elenus's clan is scoping out Dina's territory. And I was like, it's not completely false.
Well, the only problem I see is this is slightly different dialect than what I'm used to. If they are seeing these signs daily, they might notice if we're not very careful.
And I'm like, yes, but it's something that I think we should do. We should at least try. And if not, then it might still plant the seeds because they'll know something's up.
Maybe we should talk to Dina first.
I nod. I'm like, okay, well, you're the friend, so lead the way. Just call me.
I kind of puff up my chest like I usually do when I'm trying to gain my confidence. I walk, forward and I start looking for Dina.
Yeah, so all you see right now is there's just this huge Parthenon building. It's a long rectangular building, very tall. It's got these open air columns all around the outside. People are going into the front entrance. And there appear to be like doctors and nursing staff who are escorting patients who are more injured or more invalid into and out of this building.
Okay. I'll walk up to, the first nurse or doctor that I see and hand her the note and say that I'm,
looking for Dina.
Give me a persuade check.
Sure.
Can I give advantage?
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh, 10. Yeah, she looks you up and down, and she says, "One moment, I'll see if that doctor is in." And she disappears. She gestures to some chairs along the wall as she walks away. And it takes quite some time. The minutes seem to tick by slowly. People come in and they collapse on the ground and vomit, or someone comes in with like a broken arm or a missing leg, that sort of thing. They're escorted quickly back into various triage rooms. And then you hear shouts from outside. "Hey, get back here, no!" And then you hear someone scream, "Ah!" What do you do?
Well, first of all, I want to kind of perceive the room. Do we see anybody kind of like, guards starting to bodyguards? Nothing. We just hear that thing behind us.
Yep, that's all.
Tilly would probably just stay where she's at. Kind of look at Darius. Like, what are we doing?
Is there like a window nearby I can go look out?
You would have to go walk back to the front door and look out.
Oh, okay.
But it's not that far.
I'd probably walk back to the front door just to see what's going on.
I'd follow her.
Yeah,
Okay.
just
Him.
Sure. You both go back to the front door, and there's a man lying on the steps with a thick arrow driven straight through his back, and there's a scrap of paper pinned to him with the arrow, and he's bleeding out on the steps. People nearby look at him in shock.
I want to run up to the corpse, and I want it to be perceived like I'm trying to help the man, but I want to try to sleight of hand the note somehow.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. You run up to him and roll a sleight of hand check to see if you can get the note.
Okay.
Ooh, you get a good look at it, but you can see from the people around who have already seen it, who have already seen you, there's no way to get it out of there without people knowing you took it. You can still take it, but people will know.
I don't. I just want to read it if I can.
It says, "No, Dina, you're slipping." Gregorian Gallahan, what are you all up to?
The beef is so strong. Oh, I'm excited. Good shit. Get these jerks to fight each other. Well, I mean, I'm waiting to find out whether we can move on this building or not. Right?
Got it.
Like,
you're basically just waiting for word back from.
Once those two tell me like yes or no, or like there's somebody who lives there, then we can go and investigate. But yeah, we're just waiting to get reunited with them.
Okay, got it. Is there anything that you wanted to take care of while they're out exploring?
I don't think so. I mean, what else is there? I don't know. Strippin, can you think of anything?
I think we're almost done too. So
you're muted, Sam.
Oh, Stephen, can I meditate for 1,000 experience? Thanks.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Okay, can we just meditating for 1,000?
Can we just fight each other until we're at 1 hit point?
Can we train? Yeah, can we just train?
Yeah, can we have training montage?
Yeah, well, I guess that's what's going on. Strippin or Gallahan's there doing one-handed push-ups, and Grigori is pounding back beers. And yeah,
totally. That's how we train.
Montage. We have a drinking contest. That's our montage.
Awesome. All right. Back to Tilly and Darius.
So I eventually walk up to Tilly. And I like grab her away from the corpse. I'm like, "Hey, what's going on?" Like, I don't look down at the note.
I look at her or look at him. God, I look at him and I say, very, very quickly and sort of quietly,
"Can you make a distraction? Cause a commotion?"
There I go.
Please, now.
Shit. And I just start taking off my pants. I'm like, "Doctor, I think so." I just do. I just automatically start taking off my pants. "Doctor," I was like, "Oh man, I think something's wrong. Oh, I slept with this girl last night." And you see me just running up the stairs with my pants and my junk just
wow. Yep, totally, absolutely. Everybody looks at you, Darius.
So, Ello, what are you doing? I'm going to try to to plant the key on the corpse in front of me.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Give me a sleight of hand. You have advantage.
God. Oh.
Oh, damn.
Yay!
Double crit. What?
Nailed
That's
it.
ridiculous.
Elo, you are really good at Dungeons and Dragons.
That's the second time
I'm
today.
really good at random numbers.
Some of the best role playing I've ever seen.
Yep. Yeah, all right, Ello. Rather, Tilly, you totally slide the lumpy key into this guy's pocket. And then what? You head away, run after Darius? What?
Yeah, I was gonna say-
I immediately go over to Darius and start trying to calm him down.
Yeah.
I got like my junk out and everything.
Darius, I think you've got a
People
nurse like
around.
grabbing your shoulders, and she says, "Sir, I've seen a lot of penises, and yours is perfectly normal. Please go sit down."
And as she's doing it, I'm like, "Are you sure? Like, you don't want to like inspect it
No,
or anything?
it's fine.
Like, no,
Listen,
are you sure?
need to
Like,
wait
are
your
you sure?
turn.
No, are you
If
sure?
you're worried, if you have symptoms, you really
touch
need to
it.
go
Just touch
sit
it a
and
little
wait
bit.
for the doctor.
I walk up and I'm just trying to go, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to get the nurse's attention.
You also need to wait for a doctor. I'm dealing with this man. He is clearly mentally unstable.
This is my father.
Your
Yes.
father is causing trouble.
I'm
I
so
just
sorry.
want to get it investigated. Are you sure?
He's
Look
at it again.
He's
Look
simple.
harder.
He's-
Get
A
closer to
woman
it.
simple.
comes walking down the hall
like,
wearing a
touch it a
bright
little.
blue toga. And she looks at the three of you and she says, "Is one of you Tilly?"
I just
I-
stopped talking.
She
I-
glances down and she glances back up and says, "Nice."
I'm like,
And Tilly is the
wow,
name
huh.
of Darius' penis.
Yes.
Yeah, right there. This is Tilly.
Come with me. And she beckons to you, Tilly.
Okay, and I follow.
I
Yeah.
pull my pants up.
Okay.
Okay.
Grudgingly, I assume.
Thank
And
God.
I just shoot a
God.
wink
I
at the
get it.
nurse. I like wink at her and I follow behind Tilly.
Her face is a little bit red and she shakes her head and crosses her arms and she rushes back to go find some other patient who's, puking his guts out or whatever. Yeah, so Tilly, she leads you to a staircase and then she turns around and she sees that Darius is following and she looks at you and says, "And who are you?"
And I introduce Darius. I say, this is
my friend Darius. He's my companion.
Ah, I see. So all of that was just a distraction then. Very well. Come with me.
And I sort of like, we get bored.
We waited a very long time.
I personally find Darius's genitals very distracting.
I have to admit, when I get bored, I take my clothes off also. So you were looking for shock
You just see
sleep.
Darius like,
Yeah, so girl, you feeling bored?
oh yeah, are you bored right now?
Hey, Grill. Hey, Grill, you bored?
Nice. Shock sleep then. It's 150 gold for the 3 doses.
Oh, okay.
and I go ahead and start kind of going into my pouch and I pull out 125 gold and I go,
I think this is all I have. I was told you have good stuff from a friend of mine, Stiv.
Are you trying to leverage Stiv in order to get a good price?
I'm trying to gauge if this is a person that's open to negotiations, if this is a person that's more stern, or just kind of seeing what they are. What happens if I just offer a little bit less than what they're just trying to gauge the person.
Yeah, I think she takes your money. She can't tell that there's 125 there instead of 150 without counting it. And she leads you upstairs to a landing in front of a large stone door. There's a hallway. It leads back down, back through the back of the Parthenon. But she stops in front of a large stone door and she says, "I'll be right back." She opens the stone door, pushes it open with a grind, and you hear from inside the sounds of various alchemical equipment sort of bubbling and burning. And you
alchemy
catch a
impression.
glimpse. Thank you. You catch a glimpse through the door of a large pile of those same bright blue flowers that Loranth brought that were in the garden. all on a desk back in this room, and then she closes the door behind her.
And we both catch that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
A few minutes pass by, and finally she comes out of the room again, and she's got 2 small pouches in her hand, the same exact kind of pouches that that Stiv was offering to you last night, as well as your coin purse. She comes back out and she says, I brought 2. I'm already giving you the first-time customer discount. So if you'd like, you can give me another 25 and I can give you a third. Or you can start with 2. I've brought your change back.
I look down to Tilly and I'm like, oh, you can't count, can you? And I shoot her 25 gold to try and play it off.
Nice. I'll be right back. Here, you can keep these 2 already. She palms the pouches into your hand. They are significantly less full than Stiv's pouch was, but nevertheless, she emerges shortly after with a third pouch.
I snatch the pouch from her and look down at Tilly.
Nice.
What kind of demeanor does she have? Is it kind of a carefree, just totally businesslike?
Yeah, I mean, not carefree. She's cautious. She looks like she's self-assured. She looks like she does this a lot. And also, like, you can tell when she's entering that room, she's doing it in such a way that she knows you're not going to follow her.
Okay. When she comes back and hands the gold off, I want to talk to her. I want to make a sort of thieves' cant kind of dialogue and say that she may be in danger.
Yeah, sure. Okay, cool. Give me a persuade.
Sure. Can I back advantage that?
Yeah,
I don't know how to say it.
Back advantage.
But can I back advantage? Oh.
Yeah, okay. That's not too bad. She looks at you sternly and she speaks back using the thieves' cant, sort of, symbols of hands and code words and things like that. And she says, I don't know who you are. I don't know where you're from. I appreciate the warning, but you'll understand if I don't take it at face value.
And I look at her and I'm like, what she says is true. We've heard rumors around here. We came here just to visit and stop by. We've never been here before. It's a nice city. However, you might want to be careful.
Rumors fly all the time. What's this one?
Guy on the porch.
Yeah, and then I do. I point down to the porch and I'm like, yeah, well, I'd say that guy is more than just a rumor.
You pull her over to a window and point down?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Okay. She looks down and there's someone who's like going through his pockets. Just some beggar or something like that. And he reaches in and he pulls out the weird iron key. And you hear her gasp. I see.
You better gasp dramatically.
I go ahead and explain to her that, we're new in town and we had stopped by the Shrieking Wife, I think is what it was called.
Yep.
And that we had met a man, and I don't name, but I describe this gentleman, and that he was sitting at a table. I explained, Waza and their concerned look, and that I had overheard conversations of certain heirlooms that were acquired. And with that...
Yeah, her face goes cold and hard as you start talking about this.
And I continue, quickly to explain so that she doesn't just stop me, Mm-hmm. And I go ahead and explain that there may be people making moves on her territory and that I would never get involved as an outsider except for the fact that Stiv was so hospitable and so kind to us. And we had such a good time the other night that any friend of Stiv is a friend of ours. And
Stiv isn't a friend. He's a customer. He's a good one, a repeat customer, always pays in full and pays on time. But I don't know him. And I don't know you. You should leave. I don't think I want to see you again.
Point down to the man if he's walking away or whatever with the key, and I'm like, well, do you know that guy?
That man? I don't. But that key, it looks like an artifact of Nyanth. They're a powerful cult in the city. I don't like people being killed on my doorstep.
I say, of course. I say, of course. I apologize. I meant well, and I sort of bow, and I nod to Darius and say, let's, get out of here.
Yeah, I nod and I'm like, well, we got what we are aiming for. So thanks. And just walk past her.
And then, I would want to make sure that she knows that I'm sorry I misunderstood the situation.
That's how Darius ends most conversations with ladies. I got what I was sorry. For
I got what I came for. Thanks.
I'm sorry. That's like the two.
I'm actually gonna, even if Tilly keeps talking or whatever, I'm actually gonna go after that guy who has the key and try to get it back.
Yeah. So, Tilly, as you're walking away, she says, "Hey," and you turn around, and one last pouch of shock sleep powder hits you in the chest. Poof. She says, "That's for the warning. I don't want to see you again, but I do appreciate a good turn when it's dealt to me. I'll have my people look into the issue. Goodbye."
I nod and I go.
Yeah. So Darius, you head outside, out onto the porch, and you just see the man carrying the key, darting between a few buildings. I think that's where we're going to end it for the evening, and then we'll pick up there next time. So, why don't we do some shout-outs? Corey, why don't we start with you, Adam?
Cool. Yeah, welcome to Gallahan and Grigori have emotional moments while everybody else actually accomplishes shit.
Yep.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for running the show for us, Steven. It's interesting watching Dungeons and Dragons try to do so many different things.
Mm-hmm.
This is some new territory for the West Marches. So if folks want to check out what I'm up to, you can follow me on Twitter at Skinny Ghost, and find me streaming on Twitch at twitch.tv/Adam Koebel. Next week, I'm starting a Persona 4 Golden playthrough. So if you want to get on that Persona train, come on by.
Fantastic. Strippin, why don't we hear from you?
Thanks for this week, Stephen. It's been good fun. I enjoy throwing out with Adam. I'm kind of worried because we're clearly the only two evil characters in the whole of West Marches, and we clearly taint whatever comes in contact with us. But
I don't think you two have been the worst about changing the West Marches.
Really?
So far.
We're just the most effective.
Oh,
We're not
thank
evil.
God.
We just get
not
done.
yet anyway. Maybe next episode when we
Maybe next episode. Definitely not yet.
Take the cake. But you guys can check me out on Twitter at Strippin, and fuck you, JP. Also, you can find me streaming I think 6 days a week over on twitch.tv/Strippin as well.
Fantastic. Pokket, how about you?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun today, even though I think it was the majority of the time us going around doing weird shit. It was a lot of fun. There was a lot of RP. But I stream 5 days a week. It's Tuesday through Saturday now, unless there's West Marches, of course. And I'm, gonna get into Final Fantasy and then Overwatch when it comes back out. And that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna get back into crafting.
Awesome. Ello, why don't you do some shout-outs for us as well?
Yeah, for those of you who don't know me, I apparently am a lot of different colors right now. Woo! At least it looks like that on the broadcast.
You're tripping, bro.
I know, it's like Tilly. Anyways, I stream really early in the morning, like 4 a.m. usually Eastern time, and I stay live for about 6 hours after that, 6 to 8 hours. But I want to actually use this platform to talk about an event that I'm doing Monday. It is a pacifist run through the story of GTA 5. It is going to be for St. Jude, is a charity event. We're going to be raising as much money as possible. It's going to be sponsored by Bud Light. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go through the game, the entire game, not in one sitting. It'll happen over a couple of days. It'll be the 16th and 17th. And I'm supposed to go through the whole game without killing any innocent people. Now, and that includes animals. Now, I'm allowed to kill people to progress the story mission, but I'm not allowed to kill any innocent people. Now, if I do, for every innocent life, I pay $1 out of my own pocket to charity, right to St. Jude for kids with terminal illnesses. And if I die, I will be taking a drink. Or if I fail a mission, I will be taking a drink. So I'm getting a little tipsy. I'm going to be trying not to kill innocent people. Namaste. And at the end of the day, all ad revenue, all donations, all sub money. And I think we're going to have a t-shirt by then. All t-shirt sales are going to go to St. Jude. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I invite you guys to come join us. That's going to be starting at about...
What day are you doing this?
The 16th. It's going to start about 4 a.m. in the morning. And I plan to go for... I'm hoping to go for at least 12 hours on the first day, raise as much money as possible, and then do the same thing the next day and finish up the campaign, hopefully in a couple of days. So if that's whatever interesting to you, come hang out and help us raise some money for some.
This is Monday's the day you go broke.
Yeah, Monday's bro.
I love that a beer company is making you pay $1 for every person you murder. For charity.
No, they're not making me do anything. That's out of.
No, I know. It's just like
the whole thing.
The framework for it is amazing. It's sponsored by Budweiser. Life is worth $1, but it goes to charity. So get drunk.
Life is worth $1, and so is a bud.
And I want to throw a thank
Drink
you
responsibly.
God damn it, guys! I want to thank everyone here, except for these two. I want to thank everybody on the cast and JP for having me on always, and everybody who's watching because you guys are amazing. And a definite thumbs up for Steven for DMing a really difficult session there. We were kind of back and forth and trying to make it work, and it's difficult. So thanks a lot, Steve.
I thought it was kind of cool to see the thieves go, the rogues go off and deal with a bunch of
thievy stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
If people like that Thieves Guildy stuff, there's a role-playing game called Blades in the Dark that is this whole thing. Just like as a game, you play a gang in a fantasy city. It's really cool. So definitely check that out if it's a thing you're into.
Yep,
really
totally.
Cool.
All right, so let's quickly do experience, and then I will do my own shout-outs. So for the rats, each of you gain 38 experience points. And then let's consider our adventuring motivations. So let's see. What do we have? I had them written down at one point. Now I don't. Grigori, you are asserting your strength. Gallahan is uncovering secrets. Darius is accruing riches, and Tilly is finding purpose. So, Tilly, do you think that you did anything specific to try and find your purpose this episode?
Oh, of course. I mean, just being open to new things and experiencing new things. And, I think that is definitely in line with trying to find purpose.
So you didn't like the drugs that you were enthusiastic
about. The drugs.
I
mean, the drugs that I was doing.
Sure.
I think that I'm starting to kind of shape a sort of way that I feel about things. It's sort of twisted a little bit, I think, from the interactions with the other, party members. But ultimately, I think that she's starting to kind of make her own choices about things and starting to kind of question things. And I think she's starting to do that because she's starting to get the confidence to do that. So, but again, that confidence comes from having an open mind, trying new things, jumping around, doing stuff, even getting in a little trouble. She's a thief at heart, so a little mischief is always kind of up her alley. So anyways, that's my case.
Nice. Darius, yours was accruing riches. Did you do anything specific in pursuit of that?
He spent the whole episode pursuing a quiver.
That's very true. Absolutely. Okay, so you gain...
Even though that wasn't the mission, he sort of, for once, actually went outside of the mission and did his own thing.
So, Tilly, you gained an additional 113, which I put in Skype. And then Darius, you gain an additional 175. Grigori, did you do anything this episode to assert your strength?
Yeah, man, I run this shit.
It's true. Tell me something specific.
Convincing everyone that it's a good idea that we wantonly murder as many people as possible to bring a dragon into the world. I'm doing good bad guy work here.
Yep. Yeah. So Grigori, you gain an additional 175, and Gallahan, I think you obviously uncovered some secrets this episode, so you also gain an additional 175.
You say additional in addition to the 0 experience that we got.
In addition to the 38.
Okay.
Yes.
What about
we killed things for you.
I just get that? You're going to power level us? Cool.
Yeah, they killed some rats, and therefore you two also get some experience from the rat killing.
Causality is not what it used to be.
No.
I think this was a fun episode because it's we laid out the groundwork for next episode where it's just
next episode I want at least 1,000 experience for killing. So I'm going to kill everyone.
The entire city.
There will be blood.
I was supposed to level this episode and I didn't. Now I have to kill everything next episode and make sure.
That's the way it works.
Hold on to your butts. We're going to kill everything.
This is a special mission, though. It's not like this is simple.
No, it's simple. We're going to kill everything.
And you get XP at the end of completing your mission also. So there's that.
Nice.
All right, so I'll do some shout outs now. Thank you for our 4 players. Thank you to everybody who tuned back in for the West Marches. I'm having a lot of fun now that we're back. It's super great. I am doing a Q&A over on reddit.com/r/itmeJP, of course, so I'll put the link to that in chat. Yeah, I'm Silent Osiris. Steven, you can find me everywhere online at Silent Osiris. I will be streaming tomorrow. What I'm doing most in my personal time on stream these days is building a dungeon in Skyrim. So if you ever wondered how dungeons get made in a game like Skyrim, then you should definitely give me a follow and come check that out. I'll probably be live tomorrow morning for it. So can't wait for next week. That's it from me, and I think that's it from all of us. So thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Oh, also big thanks to JP for hosting us, of course.
Thanks, King Shit.
Thanks, JP.
Bye, everyone. Oh, Adam,
Bye.
you're muted.
I'm just getting all excited about the show. It's fine.
Cool.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
See you guys.